بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته الحمد لله والشكر لله الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد الصادق الوعد الأمين اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وأرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه وجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه وأدخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين الحمد لله والشكر لله. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Peace and blessing be upon our Master Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the one who his promise is true. O Allah, we have no knowledge except that which you have taught us. That indicates Subhanaka la ilma lana, glory be upon you. La ilma lana, we have no knowledge. Illa, except ma allamtana, what you have taught us. As a result, as that from not knowing to knowing, the firm realization of that state of not knowing to knowing is that innaka antal alimul hakim, that state of affirmation about him. Innaka is that you, alimun, all knowing, hakimun, all wise. So the idea that important aspect of thinking which is connected towards knowledge is that should bring people to that central point of affirmation, because you are what you affirm. You become what you affirm. You see, because if we look at our tradition, really emphasize on kalimatu shahada, that affirmation, ashhadu, I bear a witness, that absolute affirmation, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. So this uproar, uprising to the state of witnessing, again indicate that witnessing is the job of the eyes, not the ears, not the nose. So, indicate that knowledge, it shape and it produce, it mold eyes. So, knowledge and vision is connected. So, a person that have true knowledge, that which is manfa, knowledge that is beneficial, it will shape your eyes. So in other words, your eyes will become a tools, a vehicle light that take you from the seen to the unseen. Subhanallah. And that's constant, because how constant we are using our eyes, and that constancy using the eyes is constantly affirming that reality. But one can lead life, the eyes is witnessing this physical reality, But that physical reality does not take you spontaneously, constantly. As your eyes see me, I'm seeing you. At the same time, to see the source of you is important, because the dominant position of having knowledge is to make us become that. So if someone have knowledge, seeking knowledge for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, if that doesn't take place, then one should ask oneself, what have you learned? Because Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana, that you admit, you have declared, la ilma lana, we have no knowledge, illa ma 'allamtana, except that what you have taught us. As a result, what you have taught us, you come to that affirmation, you come to that realization, you come to that state of witnessing. Innaka antal alimul hakim. Innaka, that iyyaka, ka'annaka, that ka. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Innaka antal alimul hakim. So this innaka, this indicate the thinking and the feeling. The thinking, which is indicate knowledge, and that knowledge mold your vision. So you have arrived to that state of witnessing accordingly what you have accept, believe, surrender at that knowledge level. So whatever you have accept, that knowledge, that's what your eyes is witnessing. If I were to say this is a walking stick, and my eyes is witnessing, yes, that is a walking stick. So my eyes is looking at it, I'm saying, articulating it, yes, affirming it, and the eyes is witnessing for what it is. So the idea that what you know, what you articulate, and what you see, it is connected. So it is possible, it's not impossible, for somebody to have knowledge. He can articulate well, but there's no linking, there's no synchronization between what you understood intellectually, but it doesn't mold the eyes accordingly. It is possible, it's not impossible. Someone may know something, a lot of sciences, it can give you all the demonstration, all explanation, but that knowing is not being. So then you come to the point of knowing to know or knowing to be. So are we someone that know to know or know to be? If we say that I'm knowing to be, then it should bring about a sign that your knowing is being, which means the moment you see the tree, there is an element of witnessing the creator of that tree. The moment you move, at the same time there is a sense of strong urge that the one that moves you. That should be your state. Otherwise, then you are just someone knowing from not knowing, know intellectually, but not being it. Or maybe sometime you, when the good days, you in that state. But when too much trouble, busy, then you're off track. Possible too. But to be constant in that state, that is something that we're yearning for. Because state of constancy is something that the heart inclines. You see, the heart loves constancy. Constancy is another word for permanency. Because if I say to you, take this thing, after 2 hours it's destroyed. You feel uncomfortable with that. If I say to you, take this thing, it stays with you forever. And solid build is German build, good quality. You lit up. If I say to you the same thing, this is something that somewhere one country make it. It's just copyright. Maybe after 3 months you throw away. You may take it, but different way of embracing it, isn't it? That indicate we love permanency. Again, the idea of knowledge is that to take us to that permanent one. Because innaka antal alimul hakim, innaka is that you, that permanent one, versus impermanent. So if our heart is yearning and loving and inclined towards permanency, but yet you keep giving your eyes to the impermanent ones, you're wasting your time with the material substance and negating the spiritual need. While you're educating yourself, you have all this knowledge, but you're not being it. What do you expect? You're going to be stressed. No doubt about that. You cannot feel content, because content is with permanent one. So this is the first guide, because knowledge, ihdina, is knowledge. That mustaqim is balance, stability, justice, and right proportion. That's mustaqim, the right path. Mustaqim, that we plead 17 times a day in our prayer. Ihdina, ihdina, guide us, that knowledge. And that knowledge is vast, yes, that open focus, but in that vastness, there is an element of narrow focus. Because if you're facing vastness, there is no restriction in that vastness, you're lost. You get lost. If somebody built a road that's so wide, you can't see the edge. You get lost in that road. So the idea of hudud create a limitation so that you can experience the expansion. Something that you can do, something that you can't do. Can and can't. But if you don't understand, you might say, oh, I can't do that. That's restriction. Now, if your knowledge is functioning at that level, you can't see beyond. Now, that can be stressful to you. Because you can't see restriction. In that restriction, there is an element of expansion. Like the traffic law, one aspect is restriction. But that you can't do this, you can do all those restrictions that you abide in that traffic law. In the way is limitation. But that limitation, you feel that restricted for expansion, which is you in that drive is safe, peace. So that's expansion. So that restriction will take you towards expansion. Yes? So that restriction in a way almost one respect like no freedom. You're not free to do that. You're not free to do that. But that no freedom equal freedom, which is free from trouble, free from accident, free from all those things that you want. So, sometimes something may be seen like no freedom, but by saying to yourself, I want freedom, which means do as you like. That's not freedom, that's freedom. Free to do. But you can't see it. So, that freedom is in that being at very tiny level in that state of no freedom. But if you don't educate, don't remind yourself about the wisdom of restriction and expansion, then you might follow something that you follow. At the same time, you feel heavy. That restriction, I have to pray 5 times a day, I have to fast once a year, I have to go to Hajj, I have this element I have to do. What you have to do, what you have to do, you have to do. What you cannot do, you cannot do. So all those elements, in one respect, if you don't remind yourself about that nature of restriction, there is a greater expansion. It's so important. So anybody that have arrived to that conclusion, yes, then the practice that you do is more serene, more peace, more at the level of present. So otherwise, you can practice, but you can't engage with that practice. You can't see the relation, because what you see is just, oh my God, you can't do that, you can't do. It's so restriction. Because you see, the idea of thinking mind of literal calculation, which is very much connected to material perception. But Subhanaka la ilma lana, Subhanaka, glory be unto you, la ilma lana, this idea of humbling matter, because knowledge is the practice or the deeds of inner deeds. Seeking knowledge is amal batin, they call them, not amal zahir. You see, seeking knowledge is the inner practice. And knowledge by itself, by its nature, it necessitates humble. It necessitates humility. It's humbling matter. And also, one of the indication that somebody have knowledge, true knowledge, it will mold a state of tawadu'. Tawaddu'an, tazallulan. Yes, takhaddu'an and tasliman. These 4 main quality. Tawaddu'an, tazallulan, takhaddu'an and tasliman. Tawaddu'an because Subhanaka, glory be to you, that wajib al-wujud, that you facing jaiz al-wujud, because anything that other than Allah is jaiz al-wujud, conceivable existent, not necessary existent. Now, that conceivable existence, jaiz al-wujud, me, you, everything what you see with the naked eye, is jaiz al-wujud. Number 1 aim and purpose of that jaiz al-wujud, so that wajib al-wujud, that permanent one, that heart inclination, which is connected towards love. That's why you can't imagine about love. You can't even talk about love if there is no permanency involved in your thinking mind. A person will not fall in love with someone if that one said, I love you, but 1 week, yeah? 1 week only. Can your heart open, feel in love with someone that declare, I'll be with you only 1 week and love me? You can't. That's why love is connected to us, beauty, bounty, perfection, and permanency. That's how your heart open up. You start to imagine. That's why if there is no imagination faculty, no one of us will fall in love. The one that fall in love will imagine the one that he love or she love to be with her, with him forever. Then you open your heart. But you have to ask the question, who is going to be forever? That's why that heart yearn. Ya baqi antal baqi. Oh, the one, that permanent one. You are the permanent, for other than you have to go. Now, if we never remind ourselves that Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim, that innaka, that ya baqi antal baqi, if we never remind ourselves long enough about that reality, is it not easy for us to be distracted with what we see and what we talk and what we feel? Very easy. If we were to imagine that clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, until 24 hours. If we were to consider that 24 hours like a box, 24 box, and if we were to put the color in that box, to be in the state of carelessness and heedlessness, put the red color. To be in the state of consciousness and awareness, put the green color. What color you reckon get the most? Everyone get the message now? So if your state is most of the time is carelessness and heedlessness, which is connected to impermanent want, how can then your heart feel joy? Because your heart is constantly crying for that permanent one, but yet we are constantly bombarded ourselves. The thinking, feeling, which connect to us impermanent one. Because the purpose of knowledge is to synchronize between the mind and the heart. The mind and the heart. The external and the inner. That is number one purpose, aim of knowledge. That's why we come here, to remind about that reality. The first call of the Prophet, what is it? Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind, qulu la ilaha illallah. Say, la ilaha illallah. What does it mean? To see with your naked eye what you see, to combat that what you see, and affirm that reality, the source, that greater being, while you're witnessing the lesser being. Make it happen. Because the purpose of this mighty universe being constructed, number one purpose is for that reality of that Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Sink in. Illallah. Sink in. You become what you're thinking the most. The moment the eyes see, you better ask yourself, what are you seeing, O eyes? The moment your ears hear, what are you hearing, O ears? Your mind think, what are you thinking, O mind? Are you collecting all this information? And within that vastness of information, Are you affirming that reality to the point you begin to feel that deep sense of connectivity with what you have accept, believe, surrender at that absolute? Are you doing that? Or are you doing something else? At the same time, hope you can get. Oh, come on. Put it straight, please. If you're doing something else, and then you hope to get with something that nothing to do with what you're doing, that is ghurur. That is delusion. That's not hope. Hope is that when you do what you're supposed to do, then you can say, I hope. Let's say if you want to make a farm, there are 10 things that you have to fulfill in order to make that farm work. If you do all the 10 things, now you can say, I hope my farm can work. But if that 10 things you do need 2, and then you cry to Allah, oh Allah, make my farm happen. Flourish, Ya Allah, fruit. And they never happen, it's stuck there now. It's written for me. Now, if you apply that example to your worship, how much effort that we really channel? Why is it so difficult to see the material world to affirm the spiritual world? Why is it so difficult? If you love someone, is it not whatever that connects to the one that you love, you remember that one? Yes? Simple, isn't it? Oh yes, because you can see her, you can talk to her, you can message her all the time, of course. But that what you can message and what you can connect with her, that this gender relation is the first dot that you begin to learn about the reality of permanent love, that metaphorical lover, so that you can slowly, gradually tell yourself what you are experiencing here with these two aspects or two persons come together is to come to synchronize, to align your mind and your heart, to align the unseen and the seen, and to affirm with the right affirmation. Right affirmation. So that through your life journey, 60 years, 70 years, you arrive to that place. The place that what you have declared. The place that what you have accept, believe, surrender. Not something else. Otherwise, no point then. You say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. What's the contact? What is that? What is that expression? In relation to your eyes seeing, your senses is plugging to that material world as itself. You can't take off. You can't kick that belief, that strength of accept, believe, surrender, that reality, that what we have accept, believe, surrender, that deep sense of anchoring to that wajib al-wujud, that necessary existence. See? So any circumstances in our life journey, the most dominant one is that gender relation and all other. But before that gender relation, you have relation with you and your dad, you and your mother. So that the first school of love that you learn is from your mother. See? So it plants that seed of love and care. And that seed is going to expand when you meet your spouse. You see? And then, through this, Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim illa ma 'allamtana. What is that ma 'allamtana except what you have taught us? What is that what you have taught us? The first is about that greater, that affirmation, that the one that brought everything into existence. That affirmation. That's the first knowing, which is our tradition, we call it Tawheed. Yes? We call it Ilmu Tawheed, or Ilmu, knowledge that, talking about knowing the source, the origin, the creator. About Iman. Yes? So, even that in vastness of knowledge, but it narrowed down in that vastness so that you can focus. Otherwise you lost focus. You lost focus. If I say to you, go there, sometime went to Pehang, one madrasah there, we call the boys, go to the seaside, look at the seaside. When you go to the seaside, you just look that open space. I said, just stare that open space. After 5 minutes, you can see they're almost in that state of like mode of being hypnotized. Very interesting. This open focus and narrow focus. You see? So that's what happens if you have no focus, because the knowledge is not directing yourself to that place of absolute affirmation. You see, the greatest affirmation. There's none greater than that. That ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. You see, it's so difficult because if you're someone that been exercised intellectual calculation, it's so difficult to sink in that 10-inch from your head to the heart. It's so difficult because you keep going there. It's not to calculate. You say, what is that? Keep asking those questions, isn't it? Because you can't silence that talking mind. You see, you can't make that mind become quiet because too much talking. You see, that chatter, okay, that chatter is fine. But if that chatter is not helping you, is not building what you have processed through your thought process, what you have accept, believe, surrender, is not helping you that to sink in to the point you arrive to that point of silence, to that point of no thought anymore. It completely accept, believe, surrender. Because when you come to that place of no analyzation, that is the time this immense of state of experience, it will kick in. It's just like if I pull out one bunch of beautiful flowers, show it to you. When you see that beautiful, but the moment you ask, what is that? That's it. It cut off from the world of knowing and no experience. You see, this analytical mind. So most of us has sharpened our analytical mind at the level of not helping us. Does it mean to analyze something to have analytical mind is not good? No, of course it's good. But analyze in the way that make you affirm what you are analyzing about. Don't analyze something you end up far away from that what you analyze. Then there's no point then. You see, to analyze something and affirming that what you analyze, meaning there is a sense of affirmation, deep anchoring. There is a sense of experiencing, provoke that that state of happy joy, that's the nature. You see, what that create the gap between knowing and experience is analyzed. If one message come to the phone, if I go and check up from that doctor yesterday, doctor said to me, okay, we'll send a message about your blood sample. Example, if I read the message, say, oh, we find trouble in your blood, you are in great trouble. If I accept, believe, surrender that message without analyzation, just accept for what it is it not my eyes going to blur now? Is it not my leg going to shake now? Oh my God, I'm going to go down motion now. Yes or no? Because I accept, believe, surrender as it is. Anything that you accept, believe, surrender without analyzation, you provoke that emotional state. But if doctor send that message, so, oh, come on, I don't believe that. So now, that feeling will not kick in. It takes time. But if that voice keep buggering me, keep saying to me, you know what? That surgeon, that doctor that you check up, he is top of the top. The moment that message starts to sink in, is he not going to feel more now? I'm going to feel more equal what I accept. Now, if you accept that reality, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Accept, believe, surrender. At its pure, oh my God, just seeing the leaf, green leaf, it does something. Just seeing you, especially in the morning time when you wake up fresh, oh, that state, almost like ecstasy state. You see, that's a very high dose. You know? That's what the believer have, with or without. That's why a state of happiness, joy, and tranquility is not conditioned to with, or is not conditioned to without. You can't say to yourself, I can only be happy if I have that. Then what happens if he doesn't have that? You see, happy is independent. Happy is independent, not depend. So if you realize that reality and sink in all the time, because time is the one thing that we all have is time. And time is day and night. And that day and night is the place to sink in. You see? Time is the aspect of sinking in. Dunya, shahawat and ladhat, this is either it make it easy or difficult for you to direct yourself to the right place. And it depends on your intention. Your intent in facing the dunya, shahawat and ladhat. If you intend to take the dunya, yes, with intention to take that dunya for preparation for the next life and to connect with created being, to affirm the creator being, and if that intention is what your pure intention, and surely you will get that what you intend. Wa innama likulli imri'in ma nawa. Each of us will get. That's hasil. Wa innama likulli imri'in ma nawa. This is the discussion of hasil. Hasil means what you gain. So if what your gain is more carelessness and heedlessness, less consciousness and awareness, that's what you intend then. You can't blame somebody else. You see, anything that you see by its nature, we see according to the intent. What I meant to say is that if you see this walking stick, so that seeing or witnessing that walking stick and the purpose and the aim of that walking stick come to your mind. Is it not? Or you see the walking stick, you think the sword, or you see the knife. No. Anybody see the walking stick? Oh, that's nice apple to eat. Nothing to do with the apple. You see anything you see the purpose, aim of that creation, yes or no? Okay, if that's the case, you and this mighty universe, the purpose is to affirm Him. Is that happen to you? Now we have a problem. Oh my God. Yes, intellectually understood that, Shaykh, but it's so difficult. Why is that then? Why is such a simple stick? One glimpse, you can make the connection between the stick and the function of the stick. The car, one glimpse, you can make the function. You can link those together, the purpose, the aim, and the function, isn't it? If the purpose of our coming into existence, number one purpose, that we should train ourselves day in and day out. Don't miss it. If you miss that one purpose, you miss everything. You miss everything. You doesn't get it. If these eyes cannot transform to see what you see, to connect to the source, we are not doing what we're supposed to do. Stop pointing finger outside. Stop giving excuse. Oh, I'm not, because I'm a teacher. You're not a teacher. So teacher is difficult. We're dealing with students. And then the workers, contractors, well, I'm a contractor. He doesn't deal with building. Everyone have their own excuse to say. فَلَا تُزَكِّي أَنفُسَهُمْ فَلَا تُزَكُّوا أَنفُسَهُمْ. Don't justify yourself. Stop justifying. If you really know the purpose and the function, the aim of that creation is only natural, you wired that way. Any by chance when the cat come in, you connect with tiger? The cat come in very nicely. Oh, lion. No. When you see the cat, you say it's a cat. Yes? So what has happened to this simple knowledge? We're not talking about calculating, knowing Him in great detail. What is His attribute, wujud, qidam, baqa, mukhalafa. No, we don't go there yet. We're just talking about general, that He exists, everything other than Him exists, and the purpose of that existence, that what you see literal sense, so that looking at that what you see as a screen to see Him, Allah. And practice that all the time. And that is the right. That is the right. That is the thing that come with it when you declare Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, I bear a witness. So what you're saying now, I want to train and remind myself day and night, any circumstances, any situation, I want to remind, to wire, thinking, feeling, the first training in that declaration that I have something to do with this say, is that what I should do? I should remind myself constantly with happy joy, not to remind myself with stressful state that I have to do this. No. I want to do it. I love to do it. Until it becomes your second nature. about that Shahada. Is it hard to do? If you want something, is it hard? If you really, really want it, is it hard or easy? Everyone, yes, of course it's easy, Shaykh. But if we do it, you see? So our mind is too much trained no to know. There's a problem here, no to know. See? That's why when we come, we retreat ourselves from the environment, from the time, from the place. You see, our mind constantly thinking three things. What is the time now? Look like the Shaykh got excited tonight. Yes? What is the time now? I have something to do tomorrow. You see, your mind constantly reminds about time. And then your mind constantly reminds about where you are now and where you are. You want to go a place. And your mind constantly reminds what you feel between you and that person, you and yourself. So these three dimensions that your mind constantly remind you: time, place, and yourself. And all these three, all is about in time, in space. Something that exists in time, in space, which is created being. So if your mind constantly reminds about the created being and you can't make that link, because that created being is impossible to exist without the creator being. Mustahil. Mustahil by definition is something that you can't accept. It is impossible to see something that relate with something not to connect with that thing. It's impossible. Because everything around you, look. الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار الذين يذكرون الله قياما. The people that Allah praise, uplifting state, is the one that الذين يذكرون الله, the one that remember Allah قياما, while standing, قعودا, while sitting down, وعلى جنوبهم, while laying down. So these are three states that Allah described. The one that get that happy joy state is the one that use all those circumstances, all those states, is to constantly remind him. Yes? وَيَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And not just that, remembering Allah day, remembering Allah in that three states, standing and sitting down and laying down, but also وَيَتَفَكَّرُونَ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاءِ. This idea of contemplation, tafakkur. That is why tafakkur and dhikr is connected. More you tafakkur, more you contemplate, more a state of remembrance activated. See? And all of us, by nature, constantly in the state of remembrance, remembering. You cannot come out from that state of remembering. It's impossible. If you completely not, we have to call the white van quickly then. But the question is, what are you remembering? So now, our state is already in the state of remembering, that tendency, that ability, that raw state, that able to remember. Okay, you have that faculty, the ability to remember. Now it's just a matter of to channel, to direct that raw ability to affirm him. Why is it so difficult? If we really, really want it. Now we come to the question, if we really want it. And then the voice will say, yes, of course I want. See that voice there? Yes, It never stops. Yes. Of course I want it. Yes. But what did you do with what you want? There's no point you say, yes, I want. But then you end up doing something else. So the want and the doing have to be synchronized. Otherwise, it won't happen. You go back to the square one then. There's no changing then. Your changing from yesterday until now, when we talk now, is that the changing of that state of remembrance strong. If your state day by day is not developing, you're not changing. You can only be two states, callousness and heedlessness, C and H, or consciousness and awareness, C and A. Choose. Which one you want? Callousness and heedlessness like a rotten apple. Consciousness and awareness like a fresh apple. Which one you want? Oh, everyone will put it right. Of course, I want fresh apple, Shaykh. Okay, let's put a test. Go out there. I give you 24 hours a box. Yes? If you get rotten apple, we put red color, which is callousness and heedlessness. If you get fresh apple, we put green color, which is consciousness and awareness. What happened then when you come back? You see that habit there? Knowing is one thing. To break that habit of being yourself, that not being in the state of consciousness and awareness, is something that we have to think about. It's so important. Because when accident take place, you can't fake it anymore. It will come out what you have inside. You see? You can't fake it. When accident take place, if the lorry is carrying onion and wrap up the whole package of that onion, you can't see what's inside the lorry. But the moment it bang, any chance apple will come out? No. Onion will come out. So what I'm trying to say here is that the external practice have to align with the inner practice. That's all. Including me, I'm not just talking I'm free myself. No, la hawla wala. I considered myself the most person that need this, what I'm talking about. I consider myself the first and the foremost. As much as I'm talking, I'm reminding myself, because my ears is more close to anyone else. And my Shaykh said to me, if you talk to you first. Until now, when I start to talk with the voice, his voice is always there. Remember you? You know, he's always there. Oh my God. You know? If your talk focus on the audience 99%, you become tired. Your focus attention with the audience 1%. With you, 99%. But the audience, to focus to the talk, 99%. Then you can get it. That's adab. That's etiquette of learning. Then you can get. See? So, the whole point that what we talk tonight is to come to that conclusion of that where we are so far that we have going places, learning knowledge. What are the unit of measurement to really measure ourselves that we are somewhere? Okay, you pray now. Okay, what are the unit of measurement to really exactly, precisely measure that prayer does something to you? Or there's no such thing? Oh, come on. There must be. Otherwise, how can you know you develop or not? Otherwise, the practice is a practice. It just more habitual, more. Of course, Of course. In compare with someone does not do anything at all, of course it's best. But we're talking about after we have come to this place, let's take it another level. That's my point. Yes? Because otherwise you can't have that fulfillment of inner fulfillment. It's impossible. Because anything that you do, by nature, you're looking for that settlement. If you can't find that settlement, what are you doing? What are we doing? See? So that Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana. As a result that what you have taught us, you come innaka antal alimul hakim. So that you come to that innaka antal alimul hakim. You are more. It should be. It's obvious. It's self-evident. Does not need proof to be shown to be true. If now is night, I'm telling you it's night, you ask me, give me the proof. Oh my God. Tell me the proof. What is the proof? Where is the hadith? Hadith. Oh my God. What we have become? Give me the hadith sahih, bro. Hadith sahih, bro. Oh my God. We're talking about self-evident. Does not need proof to be proof in order to be true. Because it is what it is. It's a daytime. What proof you want? Look at it. No. Read the hadith, bro. Oh my God. There are people functioning at that level. There are. Sad to say, but there are people functioning at that level. You see? So I think if we all of us just use that, look around, try to connect, and the time for prayer is a precious moment, and especially this time that we sit this majalis. I'm talking, you are listening, Make use this 1 hour that you sit down. When I was studying with my Shaykh, oh my God, when he bring his kitab, yes, when he bring his kitab, sometimes he just sit down. One hour. That's the lesson. Now if I come here to give you lesson, you run off. I just left by myself here. He said the chap gone mad now. He's too much thinking in. You see? Because we are far with too much thinking. Find your thinking, but should be balanced there. Isn't it? The ability to connect, That is the joy part, isn't it? That's the fruit of thinking, isn't it? The ability to connect, to engage. To experience that what you taught. That's the fruit, isn't it? If that is not there, then how? How are you going to explain that? So because we've been explained, the Shaykh said, okay, when you sit down there, I'm teaching you. The Shaykh will see you how. Are you constantly praising and glorifying Allah? See? So all the students, sometimes the Shaykh come and sit down, and just look, so everyone link. Oh, sometime that half an hour he's silent. When he left, you get the opening that you never get before. It's amazing. That's where you learn about yaqeen. That's where you begin to learn this ability to get knowledge through that means of you can't understand. You see? عَلَّمَ الْإِنسَانِ مَا لَمْ يَعْلَمْ. He teach you what you know not. Is it not will increase your certainty with him now? Yes, of course. But if it's too much, everything have to be explained. Why? You're going to be tired. Because when you ask a question, the frontal lobe kick in. You see? When the frontal lobe kick in, it won't stop. See? That's the nature. The 40% of the brain is that space of frontal lobe. When you ask a question, why? It's just that neuron fire up. When that neuron, yes, they call neuron, we call nur. Very close though. Between the neuron and the nur. You see? That neuron. Interesting, why they call neuron? In our tradition, they call al-aqlu, what is it? Al-aqlu nurun. Yeah? خَلَقَهُ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى لِلنَّفْسِ أَصْلُهُ مَغْرُوزٌ فِي الْقَلْبِ. That's in our tradition. It said that the aqal is nur, is light. Yes? خَلَقَهُ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, yes, for the benefit of human being. Created for you. Asluhu, in its origin, maghruzun fil qalbi, that Allah has embedded the mind, the aqal, in the heart. Subhanallah. Now the latest discoveries, that's what they say. That the heart have its own neuron, has its own fired wire. What is it? Yes. This is the latest, catching up. Before, at previous time, you say, check your heart, what your heart say, they will laugh at you. What? The heart just pump the blood. No, now they say, how many million neurons is communicating with the mind too. Sometimes it makes its own decision now. So it's catching up. Sadaqa Rasulullah. See? So that heart linking between the mind and the heart. So ability to sit down in this circle and to listen, yes, and to make sense, and to come to that deep engage, so that you feel that connectivity, so that you let it go. You see, with us is that we want to control everything. That's control free. Everything you want to control. See? Everything you want to control. Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong. Good to control, but have to be balanced though. See? Everything you want to control. To the point you can't let it go. See, control, excessive control, it will lead, you can't let it go. And letting go is one of dominant position in knowledge. Because when you study knowledge, you will develop a state of doing and surrender. See? Doing and surrender. So we are human being, not human doing. Human being. But who are you being? That being. Most of that being is beyond your control. The most powerful organ in your body is the heart. Is it in your control? When they serve us, all the vein that come, the artery from the heart is still pumping. What's happening? So if that something within, nothing to do with your control, but yet you want to control everything, so you're opposing your nature, that's equal stress. So life is delicate balance between doing and surrender. Doing and surrender. If too much doing, then you become stressed, become tense. If too much surrender, you're not doing anything, nothing happened. But delicate balance between doing and surrender. So I always see night is a school of surrender. Because when come at night, the hand of power train ourselves almost like you collapse, you go to sleep. So almost like surrender mode then, isn't it? When the day pierces through, the hand of power nurtures us, gives us tarbiyah with the school of doing. So the day is school of doing, the night is madrasah or school of surrender. So how can we reconcile these two states between surrender and doing, bring that state now? So it should be relaxed. So all the muscles should be relaxed. See? But most of us, you can see, it tense. Because that thinking, excessive thinking, you don't even know it. It tense already. Because it connects to a cerebellum. You see, subconscious mind. When that subconscious mind kick in, see, it's doing itself. Can't control now. You see? That's why the teaching that we have, this immense tradition, is so powerful. It's so powerful. If we just align ourselves now, that thinking, feeling, and acting, synchronize them, heart, mind, coherent, align that, and relax. So you feel more calm and more serene and more established. So now, what is it benefit if you come to that place? The great benefit that you come to that place is that you're more productive. In any of your work, you have more energy. You have more inspired. So the benefit that you gain, dunya wal akhirah. And the nature of prayer, the practice that what we did, the Shahada, the Salah, you see, that articulation, action, thanksgiving, yes, and then abstaining yourself, then going places, and at last you sacrifice. So these 5 golden principles of achieving peace and harmony connect towards articulation, action, giving, abstain, going, give everything up. That's another way of explaining about Arkanul Islam. You see? But normally what we learn about Arkanul Islam is Shahada. That's articulation. That's word. And then Salah, that's action. Zakat, that's giving. Fasting, that's abstaining. The low self so that the higher self rise up. And then Hajj is going places. And then Zabah, sacrifice. Yes? The idea that, willingly, happily to give. Yes? So that articulation, action, giving, abstain, going places, and give. Surrender. You see? So that's very general then, isn't it? The principle that we learn. So if you talk to the non-believer, what do you learn? If you express like that, he more likely to accept it. But we say things, we learn Shahada, Ashhadu Allah. Oh my God. But we say we learn, first is word, articulation. Second is action. Third is giving. Fourth, abstaining. Because in yourself there are good and bad. Both influence you. And then the last, we travel, set a journey, going places. Is it not lovely? Oh, I like that. After 1 week, you become Muslim. Yes? So I think we have to broaden our way of approach in a way that more broad-based, but at the same time, maintain and sustain the core teaching. So that not just we know what we know, but rather to be what we know. And to the point we can align ourselves, that thinking, feeling, and acting. Yes? So hopefully my presentation benefit you. غفر الله له ولوالديه ولجميع المسلمين بجاه سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وأولياء الله الصالحين آمين 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 نفعنا الله به وإياكم كما نفع بأصله أنه جواد كريم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وأن يجعله خالصا لوجهه الكريم وسببا لفوزي بجنة النعيم آمين 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 الفاتحة